watching TBT on ESPN. We're the Gallagher Center here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the site of our broadcast. Game number 2, round 1 of the Northeast region. The top seed hits the Untouchables in the 16 OPI. What is a loaded slate today? This is game number 2 of what is 8 here in Philadelphia. Winner of this game gets Earl Boykins, the 13-year NBA veteran, and the fall champions, victorious in our first game of the day. Hi, everybody. So glad that you're with us. Welcome to our version of how I spent my summer vacation. Matt Martucci, Joe Lunardi, and what we have on our hands is a loaded Northeast region, one of the best that they've ever had, and it features this top seed, the Untouchables.
No question. I'm looking forward to seeing the Untouchables. I've not been as familiar with their roster as some of the other college-based teams in this Northeast region, which has a Syracuse group, a Villanova group, a Pitt group. But they're a 1 seed for the reason. But their best player, Mike James, no longer with the roster. So we'll see if they can avoid that dreaded 1-16 upset, which, as we know, has never occurred in March Madness, but maybe in July Madness.
And one of their top players that is on the roster, you have 10 active pros. You'll recognize Gotti Lawal, most likely. Played at Georgia Tech and ended up having a pretty reputable college career to the point where he ended up drafted. Second round pick of the Phoenix Suns. So Lawal, just one of many names that are of notoriety from college and pro days. Against the team at OPI comprised of a lot of D2 and D3 players.
Mostly from New England, sprinkled others here and there.
OPI will be in the gold and the white for the Untouchables. A little bit of a uniform snafu. Apparently the UPS man didn't deliver when he said he would. Mixed up the boxes or something along those lines.
Well, he only brought the brown uniform.
Brown didn't do much, I guess, this time around. OPI, though, wins the tip. And quickly catch and shoot for Kenny Bellinger. I'm a product of Armstrong State on the D2 level. And the Untouchables wasted no time either.
Both teams missing right corner threes out of the gate.
And that was Dwayne Jackson, who's out of Morgan State.
And try the left corner.
And the bucket for Adams. Jonathan Adams. Old Dominion Monarch alum. And a good start for the 16 seed. That's half the battle. You get yourself on the board, maybe get some confidence. Jackson, not bashful, quickly 0 for 2, and Lawal with the offensive glass. And we'll stay at this end.
Whoa, all the tricks in the low post.
Gotti Lawal playing in Italy a year ago, this past season.
He's ACC and then professionally, never quite made that leap.
Jackson slicing and dicing and getting the Untouchables on the board. Former player for Todd Bozeman at Morgan State.
Whoa.
Colin Glass, Saturday morning. Bank doesn't close until noon. Adams with 6 early points.
And OPI doing what you want to as a heavy underdog. Make some threes early and put game pressure on the other guys.
And standstill 3 from Jackson. We're going to get a foul on Adams. Jonathan Adams, one-man wrecking crew from the outside. For the Chattanooga, Tennessee native. Might be familiar with Mike Green, who played at Butler and is a Philly native. A quick strip and the bucket. And Bellinger. And look at OPI, 2-possession lead to jump out.
Certainly more energy in the early going for the underdogs.
Harris, second former UMass Minuteman that we've had on our air today. And the block for Jackson, but telegraphed it, threw it away. Third attempt for Adams, this time a no-go. Bodies flying everywhere. Sabiti, catch and shoot.
And a quick timeout. Untouchables not happy. nor should they be, with their lack of matching up at the defensive end.
So Shima Sabini, who works by day as a financial assistant for a home care company down in Augusta, Georgia, is still playing a little basketball. One more look. Sabini looking pretty good there.
Untouchables didn't touch much in terms of getting on the glass on that trip. OPI with multiple looks from beyond the arc were just too easy.
OPI, of course, playing with a purpose that's a lot greater than basketball, honoring the memory of Owen Patrick Ionati. He passed away, what was 2 years ago back in June, after injuries sustained in a car crash. Out of bounds. Green missed connection with Lawal. A lot of names on the untouchable side that we recognize. Another one of them, Marcus Hatton, who played for Mike Jarvis at St. John's. Now into the game. So Hatton, UMass's Ricky Harris, Dwayne Jackson, Gotti Lawal, and Mike Green. And Adams again red hot, 9 early points. And look at OPI up on the 1 seed by 10. Three minutes into the first half. And OPI, good movement on their D. Lawal, another missed connection, and they turn it over. Sabini wants the second bucket and won't find it.
Here's Mike Green from Butler in Philadelphia. I look for him to try and kickstart this Untouchables group, which is just so flat offensively.
And Lawal maybe gets the jump start they need. He'll go to the line. Gotti Lawal becomes the third member of the Untouchables to score.
Lawal patient with that offensive rebound. Just doesn't seem to have a lot of lift.
Which is a little unusual.
I have to be careful because if I went out there, he'd probably just dunk right over me. He'd have all the lift in the world.
Gotti Lawal led Georgia Tech in scoring back-to-back years. He and his teammates, though, down 7.
It does seem like Untouchables for the first time is really out defensively challenging the ball.
And there's Hatton coming up with the steal. Green filling the lanes. Jackson using the glass. 4 for Dwayne Jackson.
Somehow that end one playing the interior from Lawal seems to have settled down his teammates.
And Adams this time a little wild. Sabini keeping it alive. Fresh 30 now. And Bellinger, who they call Spider-Man, off the mark. And a foul on Kenny Bellinger.
Go the other way. 5 straight now for the Untouchables, who have halved what was once a 10-point deficit. Didn't figure to last forever.
Now, college-wise, that goes St. John's to Butler to Morgan State on that fast break. Little 3-man weave, ends with Jackson. Harris, pretty good scorer in his own right up in Amherst. And out of bounds.
Like Gary Forbes, another UMass product in our first game today, he and Harris both had a very bright green light at the offensive end for the Minutemen.
And Ricky Harris, whose career, I believe, started under Travis Ford and then ended under Derek Kellogg. And a turnover for OPI here.
It's really at the defensive end, though, where the Untouchables have picked it up. They've now forced turnovers on 2 of the last 3 OPI trips. Eventually, they'll start getting some transition offense.
And Jackson gives it back. can remember Dwayne Jackson is a pretty good scorer on what wasn't a very good Morgan State team. And I think you and I saw a couple times. Ooh. Callahan way off the mark, and Jackson draws the foul. What is Sam Johnson, former D3 player from Gordon College? Tanner Darwell played at D3 Castleton University. Self-described as just a guy who loves basketball. Self-proclaimed, never played at a real high level, but just loves the game. Harris open on the baseline and the soft touch. Four for Ricky Harris. Yeah.
We have to see what kind of offensive answer OPI can provide.
Darwell got caught up. Manhattan feeding off of that. No numbers, but they'll force the issue anyway in a foul.
Darwell hustles back, but both offensively and defensively, he's got a mismatch on his hands in Mike Green. It's too much body, too much game for Darwell to handle.
Has to be fun for Mike Green, who at one point played here in Philadelphia at Franklin Learning Center, an all-city selection. And eventually went on to Towson, transferred to Butler, and ended up as the Horizon League Player of the Year when Butler was still in such a conference.
He played in a bunch of NCAA tournament games.
I always seen Butler to have those guards that do a little bit of everything well.
And Sheldon Mack comes to mind. Green.
Kellen Dunham.
Another Butler alum. Gordon Hayward, not a guard, but a wing that's done pretty well for himself in the last week.
I was going to say, he had a nice last few days. Adams, 12 now for him.
Breaks a 8-0 stretch.
And through traffic and get it to the basket. Green. Check that. That's actually Kyle Hines. Big-time Euro pro from Sicklerville, New Jersey, right over the bridge. Well, after the early big lead for OPI, down to just a possession. Untouchables waking up from that Friday beauty rest.
It's the Summer of Audi sales event at Audi Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Audi and your first month's payment is on us. New A3s just $184 a month. New Q3s only $239 a month. Plus your first month's payment is on us at Audi Pembroke Pines.
All 10 seasons in one sitting. That was amazing. The ceiling's all spider webs.
We miss Grandpa's 99th birthday.
And I'm actively trying to stand up right now.
And his funeral.
Oh, I have a beard. Oh, a chip.
Binge watching isn't always rewarding, but Hotels.com is.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
How long have you been here?
Unlock instant savings now and earn free nights to use later. Hotels.com.
And this game 2 of what's 8. First half of the morning and the early afternoon. What's coming later today? Gale Nation, a lot of Iona alumni, followed by Boeheim's Army, hoping to make a little bit of a run, led by Eric Tievendorf and C.J. Fair, a bunch of former Syracuse players. Team fancy the Rebel Riders are nightcap, but sandwiched in between, Supernova, right down the road on the main line. Bunch of former Villanova Wildcats, Mike Nardi, Reggie Redding, on that roster. Actually promoted this earlier this week on local television. Joe Lenardi is a Big Five and college basketball enthusiast. My name is Matt Martucci. Rick Dewick and Tim Scarborough will be around for that second session tonight. What we had here was a 14-4 start for OPI. And nice speed, they get the bucket. And Bellinger.
OPI in trouble late in the possession. Really strong cut to the rim. And now an illegal screen out high, I think. On Hines.
It is on Hines.
Hines with a classic look of who me?
Kyle Hines played his ball in the Big South in UNC Greensboro. He's now won 3 titles in Europe. Out of bounds on the deflection, Bellinger. Out there with Jonathan Adams, who will inbound. A lot of these guys from Armstrong State. D2 school. Shot clock down to 5. Nice spin for Johnson, and he'll draw the contact.
Johnson had Green pinned. The smaller defender was calling for the ball throughout that possession. Rewarded with some free throws. Much sloppier game, at least thus far, than our opener.
Johnson, who we mentioned, D3 Gordon College, which is up in Massachusetts, Wenham, Mass, north of Boston. Christian Liberal Arts and Sciences School. But unable to help the cause, Johnson. And another moving screen, this time Jackson.
Jackson kind of got his arms up, and there was contact to the shoulder. It's Bellinger.
Now still the 2-possession lead for OPI. Quick hands at Hatton. It's a lot of what he brought to the table when he was at St. John's under Mike Jarvis. Actually won the 03 NIT, did Marcus Hatton. Adams, good start for him, using the body in the separation. How about 14 for the guy that they called the Senator, Jonathan Adams?
OPI has answered the Untouchables here.
And Jackson still on an offer from the outside. Second kick out, Hatton, he won't miss. First field goal for the former Red Storm. We're in a 4-point game. Little bit of extra body. And David Grimes, who's actually played some pro ball over in Germany. Back to the 2-possession OPI lead. Good ball movement for the Untouchables. Shot clock at 15. Hit on the arm is Graves. And Antonio Graves will head to the line. Grimes, who just got the bucket, hit with the personal. That's what we're going to see as we get one more look for Graves going to the free throw line.
How the Zoo Crew, that Pitt alum team, let Graves get away.
I don't know. Actually, Untouchables was a Pitt alumni team a year ago, and it was kind of, I guess, a defection over toward the Zoo Crew for a lot of them. Graves among the many, though, in this tournament that played for Jamie Dixon when he was still at Pitt. I was about to say, that's a lot of what this day is. If you watch the old Big East, or at least the Big East from when some of us were in college.
Good thing they have 6 fouls per player. It's going to be the old Big East.
Yeah.
Which was an experimental rule for a few years in that conference alone.
Grimes using the body. But a little too much size for the Untouchables. He running the break, but coming back, Sabini, and Hines finally able to cap that possession. Now Kyle Hines with 4 off the bench. Adams not bashful, backing up like he thought that one was going down. Jonathan Adams, 14 of what's the 23 for OPI. Foul on the green drive.
what would concern me from an OPI perspective, what happens when the inevitable occurs and Adams cools off? Who else really can pick up the slack? Maybe Bellinger?
Hatton using the screen off of the inbounds. And gets it back for a second time. This one looks better. 6 of them off the bench for Marcus Hatton. We're tied up.
19-9 is the scoring now in favor of Untouchables. Since that early spurt, 14-4 from OPI.
Rhymes wanted to catch and shoot instead. This time the challenge, and they'll get Hines. His body language suggests he's not happy. Second one on Hines. And with the reset inside the 9-minute mark on the fouls, it's the first team foul on the Untouchables. Dennis Grimes, Albany, New York native, started things off at the D2 College of St. Rose in the NE10. And then finished up at Roberts Wesleyan, where he was second in Division II in rebounding. So not afraid to go in there and bang with the bodies. But unable to help the cause. They've had a tough afternoon at the free throw line, already multiple misses.
0 for 4 in the last 2 trips.
And Jeff Allen makes his presence known. First, we'll see if the former Vontek Hokie pushes the Untouchables lead to a possession. Bellinger caught up on the baseline, and yeah, he came down. 7:37 to go here in the first half. It was OPI who ended up getting things started with a little walk down memory lane for Marcus Hatton and company. The old Big East reappears in Philadelphia.
Sold! Next up for auction, we have the Miller family, the kids, social security numbers, the mother's maiden name. Let's start the bidding up to 200.
Your information could be out there, just waiting to be auctioned off on the dark web. But now there's Experian. We monitor the dark web globally and let you instantly protect your Experian credit file from identity thieves. Plus, get up to $1 million in identity theft insurance. Try Experian free for 30 days at Experian.com/protect.
Right here, Dad.
The Infiniti QX60. Impressive performance and seating for 7. Infiniti. Empower the drive.
A one possession game. If you happen to be new to TBT, here's what you're looking at. There are 18-minute halves, and of course, unlike the college rules, one of the adjustments, 6 fouls, and then the foul reset, important to note. 5 team fouls sends you to the line, but that flips over. As Joe described it earlier on, almost like quarters without quarters.
Yeah, the women's game now. International basketball, of course the NBA all play 4 quarters. So we have no 1-and-1 free throws in this format. It's either under the limit or over, and when you're over, you shoot 2.
Lawal back into the game and forcing the issue. Johnny Lawal using the body. And we'll go to the line. Now, 2 things as Lawal goes to the free throw line. We're going to see maybe potentially the lack of depth in OPI. It's already David Grimes' 3rd personal. And we have a lot of basketball left. And also, we get to see the size of the Untouchables. Because OPI's tallest player is in fact 6'7".
Adams goes to the bench for the first time for OPI. 2-man bench.
Grimes sits down with those 3 personals. Ricky Harris back in. Antonio Graves, former Pitt Panther, sits down. Catch and shoot. Sabini in the corner has already hit one of those with Jackson crashing in. Near steal for Callanan. And this one looks good for Jackson.
And the rebound for Untouchables now 27-9 since the early 14-4 bulge from the underdogs.
You wonder if maybe they can find a way to hang with Johnson. And he'll do that. First field goal for the Chatham, Massachusetts native up there on the Cape. Green out of bounds on the three. The wall sits down. Kyle Hines returns. Callanan, who's another Armstrong State guy.
Not a lot of doubling by the Untouchables. They played pretty much a switching man-to-man, and a lot of ball pressure has made it very, very difficult for OPI to run any offense after that early spurt put them up 10.
Callanan off the mark. Adams off the second chance. 17-footer off the step back. A near transition, but Bellinger says, no, you don't.
Nice interception.
Johnson, look at this footwork in the lane with the pass. And Darwell got caught up. A little too much size for Untouchables.
Both teams trying to get cute with the basketball. And we've seen some very sloppy play in this first half.
Bellinger using the body. Chased down to the corner by Hines.
Body's flying.
And Brian O'Connell, part of our officiating crew, heading this up.
Bellinger not happy. He gets up off the deck.
There's seats on the bench for the Untouchables. Sabini returns. Meanwhile, for OPI. Actually, it looks like Jeff Allen may go over and get looked at.
I think he came down and got his face into the shoulder of Bellinger when Bellinger was hitting the deck last time down.
Kyle Hines gets the third field goal. Johnson challenged on the glass, and there's Hines again. Kyle Hines, certainly the body of a pro. A little hesitation from Harris. And Adams, who's red hot to start, has pulled off a little bit. Sabini leaning in, and they'll call it a deep two. Sheila Sabini fearless. And the miss for Hines and Co. Now Bellinger trying to take advantage of what seems to be a conditioned OPI team, and Adams off of the carom. 16 for Jonathan Adams.
That's over half of their total.
Jonathan Adams may be feeling a connection with Philadelphia. Chattanooga, Tennessee native. As Jackson misses. Jonathan Adams' godfather, though, some guy named Reggie White. Did a few things for Buddy Ryan and the Eagles when he was in Philadelphia.
Some guys would have dominated in any era.
He was one of them.
No question.
Johnson trying to tiptoe the baseline. And OPI, after leading early, has withstood a run from Untouchables, hanging right in there. You're on TBT.
Why create something this extravagant? Or make a back seat that feels nothing like a back seat? Why give it every feature you could want, along with a few you didn't know you needed? It's simple. You can build a car, or you can build a Cadillac.
Oh, that long one from, well,
Sabidi, I think.
yeah.
It's a one-possession lead for the top-seeded Untouchables. As we're inside 4 minutes here in the first half with Joe Lenardi, Matt Martucci. Game number 2, round 1 of the Northeast region here at TBT. And our officiating crew actually wanted to clarify whether it's a 3 or what ended up being a deep 2 for Shima Sabidi.
This is what they're looking at. Yeah, that's a 2.
Not a whole lot of clarification.
It's right in front of us. We called it a 2 at the time. That went inside the 3-point line by a couple of inches. We're playing the college 3-point line here at TBT. Just handy because that's where the line is on the court.
Hines with an advantage. And wants it again on Sabidi. Hatton off the kick out. And Hines just too much with the button. 8
No
now
call.
for him. And back to a 2-possession lead. Paladin drawing in the double. Sabidi wants another and has one.
No question about that. A clear 3 and a 1-possession game.
8 now for Shima Sabidi. Harris off the dribble drive, the exaggerated step. Harris now with 7. Paladin got a little sloppy with the ball, lost the handle. And it's an epidemic. Harris ends up with the same thing. Green having a tough time shooting the basketball early on.
I think in some regard, Matt, OPI fortunate to only be down 4.
And honestly, really staying with this.
I mean, they were up 10 early, which was a bit artificial because of that guy, Jonathan Adams, draws them within 1.
How about 19 now for the Senator, Jonathan Adams?
Just not been impressed with the Untouchables at the offensive end. Really not much flow, one-on-one play for the most part.
Stand still for Jackson. Off the rotation, Harris with a good look.
That's a little better. And OPI wants to talk it over.
We're down to 1:11 left in the first half. As we said, what's game number 2? What is going to be 4? Looking forward to all of them. Our 4th one of the day is going to be the Zoom crew, the Pittsburgh alumni, and Sideline Cancer, which has a few names of local recognition here in the Philadelphia area. Zoo crew picking up a non-Pittsburgh Panther ringer or 2.
Every matchup, really, in the top half of this Northeast bracket figured to be closely contested, except maybe this one, the 116 pairing, but the early hot shooting from OPI gave them a 10-point lead, and they've been able to use that to hang around, down now just 4.
Adams trying to shake Hines. He's going to say if that one goes down.
You know it's your day.
Transition on the kick out for Hatton, who almost looks like James Harden with that beard. And Harris a little too high.
I can see that. The beard, that is.
Well, the last name, too, I guess, also kind of helps.
Yeah.
Hatton versus Harden. Callanan caught up. No idea what he wanted to do with that.
Hello.
And Hatton. 8 now off the bench for Marcus Hatton.
That was old school.
Adams almost right into Joe Lenardi's lap. Way too much for Callanan. And a foul on the rebound coming on Sam Johnson. It's the second team foul, so one more possession, likely what we're going to have left in this opening half.
I do like the resetting of the fouls in terms of the flow of the game, Matt. Just fewer free throws.
Final few seconds, nice dish, and Hines just couldn't get it to stick. How about this, though, with the 116 matchup, just a 2-possession game going into the break. The Untouchables, and their roster loaded with what is 10 active pros. Still up by just 6. We'll have stats, highlights, and more coming from Philadelphia. You're watching TBT on ESPN.
I don't have the bullet. I'm not the TM. Hey. Oh, so it's done already? Yeah. Oh, it's not reusable?
Not your car. Car's ready?
Wrong car.
Isn't that your car?
I would love to take it, but no.
So sorry about that. You guys want to check it out? Someone else's car.
This is beautiful. What is this?
It's the all-new Chevy Equinox.
This feels like a luxury SUV.
I love this little 360. How do they even do that?
I made a bad decision on my last car purchase.
Oh, your car is here.
Bummer.
Wah, wah. I'm ready for an upgrade.
I've been pushing like I don't know what.
Degree has redefined deodorant with motion sense technology so that I can redefine power, footwork, range. The more I move, the more it works. Degree, it won't let you down.
Fuck Steph Curry.
Mike's going to work. Oh, the alley-oop, and it's a little showtime here in Los Angeles.
How about the funnel slam behind Jefferson? Team Colorado on a 7-0 run. Always a brave, have a little fun. Bayheim's Army loaded with familiar talent.
College basketball fans are going to know a lot of these guys.
Those fields, challenging Johnson in finishing. There you go, look out. And one. Overseas Elite remains undefeated in 2 years, and they take home the $2 million prize for 2016 TBT.
Well, will it be a third straight for Overseas Elite? We're just getting started in terms of finding out the answer to that question. They're down in the South region. FCM Untouchables right now with the 6-point halftime lead. Stats and highlights are coming here for Philly U.
We asked premium vehicle owners to judge 3 premium sedans, not knowing the brands.
It is quite responsive and intuitive.
High quality craftsmanship.
The stitching adds a level of refinement. I like the aggressive sculptural lines.
Wow.
I've always trusted Mazda.
I like driving this car the best.
Discover a smarter premium at the Driver's Choice event.
Now get 0% financing and 1,000 APR cash plus no payments for 90 days for all new 2017 Mazda sedans.
Canelo, be bold! Hey. No. No bueno. Be bold. Hey.
Be bold.
Tecate Light. Born bold.
Back at the Gallagher Center. Well, it's a 6-point halftime lead for the top seed FCM Untouchables. 1 versus 16 here at game number 2 of the day. Welcome you back courtside. Matt Martucci with Joe Lenardi, who chose another bracket over the beach today. I think it was a good choice.
And I would always choose a bracket over the beach unless it was, beach volleyball bracketing. But Matt, this was a tale of two halves, really, in this first 18 minutes. OPI with a quick start, a lot of threes, 14-4 out of the gate, led by this guy, Jonathan Adams, who had 19, including that early one to bank it in. And how do you get over half your team's points? You shoot 7 for 11. So he wasn't being a volume shooter, he was being an efficient scorer. But eventually the tide would turn in favor of the number 1 seed, mostly in the person of Kyle Hines. He was also efficient for the Untouchables, 4 of 6, 7 rebounds, 4 offensive, including that putback. And the sheer number of options for Untouchables, giving them this 6-point lead and eventually a 16-point turnaround in the first half. We'll see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, what ends up being 8 different players, everybody that ended up into the game for the Untouchables ends up finding the board. OPI led by those 19 first-half points for Jonathan Adams. As we get a look at one of the options for the Untouchables at Marcus Hatton. This game number 2 of what is 8 today. We've already had one team move on to the second round, which will come tomorrow. The ball champions and Earl Boykins, who actually joked that he could have ended that first game sooner had he been able to make a late 3, and he was right, but they ended up prevailing anyway. And of course, Sioux Crew and Sideline Cancer finishing us up in the first half of the games today. Team FOE and DC on point will come your way next. It's a loaded slate, what they consider the founders and the organizers of the basketball tournament to be the most loaded Northeast region that they've had in what is the 4 years of the fact that they've gotten this together.
Yeah, I look at those kind of 3 Big East alumni teams. We'll see the first of them in Pitt in our final game, you and I, 2:30, but also Villanova and Syracuse lurking on the other side of the bracket when the games continue into the late afternoon and evening.
Look at OPI and Adams in his 19 points. See if we see maybe a more motivated, untouchable squad this time around.
I think they were fine after the first 6 or 7 minutes. They picked it up at the defensive end. They just didn't shoot it well enough or take care of the basketball. 9 turnovers against 6 assists. They're the more talented team by a pretty wide margin. We'll just see when that kind of asserts itself.
A little 2-game to start off the second half for Hines. Give him 10. And an assist for Gani Lawal. 10.7 rebounds for Hines. Paladin using the Hines, make it the Adams screen. And quick hands for Jackson. Off to the races.
Lost his headband after that dunk, but gives his team its largest lead.
So Dwayne Jackson, the former Morgan State Bear, now scoring honors. Tied with Ricky Harris, 9 apiece to pace the Untouchables. Rhymes too deep in traffic and then picks up a foul. That'll be his 4th.
Jackson picking the pocket. down it goes. Losing a headband for his trouble.
Well, at least he's at the right end of the floor if he wants to pick it up again. Shot clock halfway gone. This time, wants the step back.
He's got a funky release, does Jackson, with his mid-range jump shot.
After a little pinball around the lane, Sabiti couldn't handle the corner.
And now it's OPI turning it over. Where they had everything going its way, only 5 miscues in the first half, shot 50% from the three-point line.
And House almost came down for Lowell. Another OPI turnover, and they'll take a foul on Adams. And this is that point in the game where you feel like maybe things could start to get away.
I think maybe they already have, because OPI is turning the ball over, and they haven't gotten any real looks offensively in this second half. Other than Sabiti's three-pointer.
Reeves one-handing it out. And Jackson get another flat-footed three. Hines seemingly everywhere, though, related to the glass. Another mid-range look. And Sabiti taking care of it. Ellinger from way out. And Spider-Man getting that one to stick.
I hear you, but it's not a prescription for staying in the game. To dribble away the shot clock and take a bomb.
And Jackson able to match, give him 12.
In part because like that, it's too easy to answer.
Largest lead of the game still for the Untouchables at 10. Bellinger wants another one. Feeling it a little too much. And numbers. And Jackson. Not this time.
He's got a cleaner release when he's left alone, does Jackson. When he rushes, it's kind of when he twists his arm and shot puts it.
Adams wants Donnie Lawal one-on-one and another teardrop. That's the second one like that today for Adams. 22 for him.
Gets him to within 7, and OPI calls timeout. And we'll take a full break here.
Have 14:25 to go with the second half. Little 3 for 3. Bellinger stepping out. And then Adams keeping his team in the game. 22 big ones. And that's where we are right now. 7-point lead for the Untouchables with the bracketologists Joe Lenardi, Matt Martucci, and several of Joe's ESPN colleagues apparently listening. Hello, Fran Fraschilla.
Fran's a hoop head. He's going to watch any game, anytime, from anywhere. We'll be hearing him later in this tournament. I may go torture him up in Brooklyn at the round of 16.
I thought you were just going to go to Shake Shack again.
Well, never a bad idea.
One of the many fine establishments down the road from the Barclays Center. Game number 2 of what is 8 today from here at the Gallagher Center on Herb McGee Court. Johnson commits another personal. Fouls starting to pile up on this OPI team. 3 on Johnson.
Yelling at him to take a feather. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either. Didn't really understand that.
We were not near the reset. That's it. After the 9-minute mark.
The wall popping out.
Would it be too much of a pun to say that was another brick from the wall?
Don't quit your day job, I guess.
They roll that bumper music from Pink Floyd.
Callanan. And going up on the elevator, Jackson. And creates a brief transition, but it closes. And Sabiti really forces the issue there, and a foul going down. So I was saying before, fouls starting to pile up. 4 of them on Sam Johnson now, 4 on Grimes, who's already over on the bench.
Well, here's what I'll say, Matt. If this is the best Northeast region that TBT has had, it's not because of the play of the 1 seed today. They've been average at best and only up 7 because of the efforts of Jonathan Adams and a hustling OPI group.
This time, pick and roll, and Lawal. Credit Hatton with the assist. Oh, the other thing is they're going to get all they can handle tomorrow if they do advance today. That champions team, when they're right and when Earl Boykins is able to play the game that he's been playing these first 3.
Now, in fairness, the Untouchables were planning to be anchored by Mike James. No longer available, but they're going to have to play a lot better to close this out and, as you said, to beat Paul's champions, which has played really, really solid team basketball in all 3 of its TB wins, 2 in the Jamboree to get here, and to pull the mini upset over Talladega Nights in the round of 64.
Another catch and shoot deep in the corner for Adams. And Mike James, just a couple days ago, signing with the Suns. Sabiti might have had an extra step there. And a turnover again for OPI. Donnie Lawal sitting down, former Virginia Tech Hokie Jeff Allen on your screen, running up the floor next to Marcus Hatton. A lot of options, as we have mentioned, for Untouchables. Allen, a former 1,000-point scorer in Blacksburg. Nothing there for Harris on that last drive. And Bellinger, a little acrobatics to draw the contact from Hines.
Tough take.
And brings us to an official timeout with 11:54 to go here in the second half. Untouchables feeling like they're in cruise control. Here.
Canelo, be bold. Hey, Canelo. Oh, bueno. Be bold. Hey.
Be bold.
Tecate Light. Born bold.
You think it's just 5 guys between you and that rim? Try 500. Because for every guy you beat, there's 100 more out there with your same 5, working on your same moves, all trying to steal your glory. So if you want to be the one and only, and not just one of many, give that extra ounce. You might just be the one that all the others don't. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Well, that gentleman was just checking the scores from the South region, which is going on in Charlotte. Kentucky Kings already advancing thanks to a double-double for a former Hilltopper as the Kentucky alumnus Jeremy Evans. And taking out the city team who did not have LIU Brooklyn alum and former Northeast Conference Player of the Year Jamal Olasaware today. Otherwise, maybe that might have made a difference. Tampa Bulls and 7 City Grain going on right now. Find it on your Watch ESPN app, which is where you can find us as well. What has been a successful morning so far for Kyle Hines and the Untouchables. And Adams single-handedly trying to keep OPI in this. Ian Bellinger this second half. Kenny Bellinger now with 7.
Matt, the number of games from various conferences that I track on E3 and the Watch ESPN app during a certain time of the year is quite high. I'm a big fan.
So I know when you go home today, you're going to be watching what's left of the Charlotte region.
Well, I might, but I'm more interested in the rest of this region because it impacts who we see tomorrow.
Trying for the scoop and score. Graves, Hines, big offensive glass.
They're doing just enough, the Untouchables, but I wouldn't say they're maxing out their roster here this afternoon.
Maybe this is that early tournament warm-up. Hines says no and throws that out. Transition. And Harris able to run the break. Give the Baltimore native 12.
Largest lead, I believe, for the Untouchables. First time they've been above 10. They were down 10 way back when it was 14-4, and Adams was banking in threes from all over the place.
At one point, OPI did have a 10-point lead of its own.
Yep.
That was a while ago, though. Jackson again on the standstill. And Grimes wanted to force the issue. And a foul on Antonio Graves.
Jackson of Untouchables, and of course Adams for OPI. Two guys who haven't come out of this one.
Kyle Callanan back in.
Bellinger the same. Less depth, of course, for OPI. Just trying to hang. In memory of their former teammate.
Yeah, Owen Patrick Iannotti, good friend of Kyle Callanan, who just checked back in. A couple of Bennington, Vermont natives. And Hatton out and running the break.
2 old school breakaway layups for Hatton now in this second half.
I wonder if Coach Jarvis is watching somewhere out there, down in South Florida. And Jackson cleaned up what was a tough pass. 14 for Dwayne Jackson. Sabiti and Adams left up on the rim and cleared out by Allen.
And that shot was too easy for Adams. He only makes the tough ones.
And Allen able to finish. He'll go to the line. And all of a sudden, Untouchables running away with this. Jeff Allen, who hails from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. 6 now for him. Over 1,000 points, more than 700 rebounds in his career at Vodtech, Jeff Allen. Allen and Adams, and now Sabiti. And now Hatton and Co just having fun. Graves with the last second pass to Allen. And Jeff Allen played his high school ball. Extra year, Hargrave. Also a DeMatha guy. Folks in Philadelphia suddenly very big DeMatha Catholic fans.
Yes,
with,
indeed.
The addition of Markel Fultz here with the Sixers. Bellinger able to exert his will on Hatton.
You may have heard over the PA announcer. Team fouls have reset. Prior foul before this one was one of those take it because we could that Hatton did on the sideline. I don't know why you need to do that when you're up 19.
Kenny Bellinger, Miramar, Florida native. Started out playing junior college, St. Petersburg College, and then ended up in Armstrong State with a lot of these guys in Georgia. Miami-Dade County guy, though. And we get action away from the ball. Too much from Allen. Down the other way. OPI quelling what was almost 3 minutes without a point, by the way. And at one point this half, they had started 2 of 14.
Just not a good read on this number 1 seed Untouchables team because they don't have their expected roster, and OPI just not enough to really challenge them.
And now Harris just having a little fun on the cherry pick.
As currently configured, Matt, I'd give the Paul's champions an excellent chance in that round of 32 game tomorrow, which we'll see.
Bellinger jumps into double figures, now 10 for Kenny Bellinger. And I think there's enough. What a find, by the way, to Allen. Definitely enough, though, to make things more than interesting if you're the champions tomorrow, with the way that Boykins has been playing and some of the other options you have there. Meanwhile, Bellinger continues to catch fire.
I don't think Champions is a great defensive team in the half court, but I haven't seen really enough disciplined offense from Untouchables, at least in this game, Matt, to suggest that on a quick turnaround, they'll be ready to take advantage of that. I'm feeling very much like an upset in that one tomorrow.
Now, Untouchables, a little over 7 minutes from moving on. Ricky Harris and company feeling pretty good about where they are today here on TBT.
Canelo, be bold.
Be bolder.
Whoa, come on, Canelo, be bold.
Be bolder, it's like.
You got it. Let me get in there.
Tecate Light, born bold.
A big lead for Dwayne Jackson and the Untouchables. Up by 16 now, trying to close this one out. Well, it's game number 2 of the day here at TBT. And a look at how they've done some of it. Allen out running the break. And then Harris, more transition game off of a turnover. And look what Jeff Allen found again. Anthony Bowles, some more of the coaching staff. Also includes Jermaine Dixon, brother of former Maryland Terp Lon Dixon, and Kevin Durant's brother Tony. Also over there on the bench. Harris continues to add to what's a double-figure day.
They're not going to put him in the game, right? KB's brother?
I think he's just there to coach.
I think they have enough offense.
They're feeling pretty good about where they are, right?
I wouldn't be if I were them and I had watched the first game.
Reminder, still 2 more to come. And 6 more overall. In terms of what is our first session of 4 games. FOE and DC on point. That FOE team, exciting. Features a bunch of former Kansas Jayhawks, Nadir Tharp, Elijah Johnson, Tayshawn Taylor on that roster.
Figures to be pretty high scoring. We haven't had one of those 190 games yet.
Yeah, DC on point, of course, featuring former Notre Dame Fighting Irish Terrell Francis, the TBT champion back in 2014. Green lost it, taken away. Grimes, Bellinger running the break, and count the basket, +1.
Undercut a little bit was Bellinger. Allen's got a cut taped on his cheek. That was from the first half. And Bellinger's shoulder had an unexpected encounter.
Yeah, Allen was trying to say there, Joe, that he pulled up a little bit, but he did pull up and maybe curve the body a little.
I mean, he tripped.
Good second half for Bellinger. A couple of threes in the the old-fashioned way. And Green going down the lane. Said earlier, OPI running out of fouls here. That's 5 on Sam Johnson.
And now they're down to 1 reserve eligible. But check that. There's 6 fouls per player.
Yep.
My bad.
It's okay.
Starting to think about lunch over at D'Alessandro's.
Yeah, I don't.
We went in our visit here a couple of weeks ago.
I'm not sure you can make it there and be back for our 3rd game. Do they deliver?
Well, I can if you're willing to do part of the 3rd game alone. And I'm perfectly fine with that.
I suppose we could put the order in between games and then, maybe have somebody run and pick it up.
Joe. Not this Joe.
Looking over at our statistician extraordinaire.
I think cheesesteak duty is definitely part of the job description.
Cowan had drawn the contact on Hatton.
Actually, I was thinking maybe tomorrow after our 2 games that end, around lunchtime.
So Kyle Callanan, the Bennington, Vermont native. He played his high school ball at Mount Anthony Union, where he ended up being friends with Owen Patrick Ionati. OPI is, of course, named after. Passed in a car crash. It was a little bit over 2 years ago, June 11th, 2015. Hines lost the basketball. And nice decision by Adams, but Grimes so wide open that it caught him off guard. And I think even Grimes thinking maybe Adams was going to shoot that, and then the last-second decision. A little too much for him. Hatton using the screen. And this time, Grimes on the run out. Adams nearly picked up the pivot foot. And this time, going in on the block.
Oh, can't do that.
And Hines, the first one to come back in bounds.
Both teams kind of sleepwalking through these latter stages of the second half.
Yet a reminder to stay tuned. 4 versus 13 matchup. Team FOE, DC on point coming up. It's right after this one. And then still later on, 5-12 matchup. Rhymes catch and shoot off the inbounds. That's just his second field goal of the afternoon. Just in case you were wondering, who's on that Zook crew team? The likes of Ashton Gibbs, Levance Fields. Bellinger gets the layup here. And another turnover for the Untouchables. So maybe some sleepwalking, but a little 4-0 spurt for OPI, and maybe they can get this under 10.
Green has not had a good day handling the basketball or shooting it for that matter.
Yeah,
His team has kind of followed suit.
I can't remember calling Mike Green's name on too many made baskets today. Some dispute as to whether or not the Untouchables did turn this over. Green wasn't happy with the call. Let's get a look. You get the layup from Bellinger. Green wheels and turns. And might have gotten it stripped, but I think the touch didn't last.
No, I think when he touched him again, he was out of bounds. That should be Untouchables basketball. I doubt they'll overturn it in this situation, but we'll see.
I felt like on the wheel of the turn, though, it went off his fingertips. I don't know, though. Little teaching moment for Connie LaWall. Hard to believe it's already been 7 years since he was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
The rewind button on the VCR back to 2010. Second rounder of the Suns, Connie LaWall.
Does anybody even use a VCR anymore?
That's kind of why I said it. Probably a few kids today that don't even know what it stands for. Hines uncontested to the basket. And second chance try.
Oh, hang in there. Hangout time for Hines.
His 14 matched the Untouchables lead. And Team OPI wants to talk things over. Last time out of the second half. And Untouchables thinking about a Sunday date with the champions. They're not far off.
Canelo, be bold. Hey, Canelo. No bueno. Be bold. Sit there. Hey.
Be bold.
Tecate Light. Born bold.
If you love queso, you'll love Wendy's new bacon queso burger, chicken sandwich, and fries. Because everything's better with queso. And you're staring.
Sorry.
Feed your queso obsession for a limited time at Wendy's.
Now big lead for the Untouchables. Philadelphia University. Here at game number 2 of what is 8 in the Northeast Region, round 1. With the bracketologist Joe Lenardi, Matt Martucci, our entire fine crew. Philly area native Mike Green. And the Untouchables hoping to move on. Harwell got to the lane. And Hatton leaves it down to the floor. Another bucket from Jackson. Callanan down Main Street. And that's actually the first time we've called Kyle Callanan's name.
But not the first time for Dwayne Jackson, who's been maybe a little underappreciated in this contest.
And Callanan. Back-to-back buckets. And a foul on Darwell.
He's been itching and trying to draw a charge and get under Hatton's skin. Getting under the official skin more than anything else.
Jackson, stupid score. Now 6 straight points for him. One in the books is going to go in as an easy win for Untouchables. Didn't look that way early. Took them a little bit to wake up. Callanan now gets 7 straight. So dueling banjos for he and Dwayne Jackson. Reminder, stick around tonight as well. Bayheim's Army, the Syracuse alumni. With a couple of additions this year, 7-footer DeShante Riley. Part of those, Scoop Dart Jardine from right here in Philadelphia. And first time we've called Marcus Hatton's name in a while, 13 now for the Baltimore native. Really like that era of St. John's basketball.
They had some good teams. Sweet 16 team. And I want to say prior to these guys, 98.
Callanan, by the way, now flirting with double figures after that 3. Reeves gets another bucket. Yeah, even preceding Hatton, the Artest, Bootsy Thornton, LeVar Postel team.
Bellinger banks it in.
18 now for Kenny Bellinger. It's still hustling. Almost had the makings of your typical 16 versus 1. Where sometimes there's maybe an early scare, a run or two.
Yeah, of course. The number 1 comes out tight. I don't think they came out tight, Matt. I think they came out bored. And that really hasn't changed. Of course, now we're in that situation that we didn't have to witness in the Jamboree because of the untimed Elam ending. You know, teams are fouling and trying to just keep the game from ending. Which isn't going to work.
Another final, by the way, down in the Charlotte region. Tampa Bulls, congrats to them. 6-point victory over 7 City Grain. 94-88. Welcome those of you maybe who might have flipped over from the South region. Joe Lenardi, Matt Martucci. And Marcus Hatton says hello to you as well. 16 now for Hatton to close this one down. If you did just join us, it was an early 10-point lead for the 16 seed at OPI. But Untouchables able to wake up and battle back. Walked in with a 2-possession halftime lead. Callanan, meanwhile, trying to keep them in it. They'll spend a timeout.
That's a popular whistle there. As this game has been in garbage time for quite a while. Two finals in the books in Charlotte. We'll soon have our second final in the books here in Philadelphia. We take a look at that Charlotte bracket. The 2 favorites have advanced. The Tampa Bulls and Kentucky Kings will play for a spot in the Super 16 tomorrow in the... Is it a nightcap if the doubleheader's in the afternoon, Matt? the 4-5 game at 12:45 Eastern.
And of course, overseas elite, two-time defending champion at TBT, sitting there on the top of that bracket. And here we just finish out with Green getting fouled. Mike Green will head to the line thanks to Tanner Darwell. And that Tampa Bulls team, mostly comprised of a lot of South Florida alumni, but a little bit of a mixed bag. Some additions, Javante Hawkins, who you and I saw in the Atlantic 10, Eastern Kentucky transfer to Fordham, played for Jeff Neubauer this past year.
Maybe saw a little too much of Fordham late in the year. Won their first A-10 game in Philadelphia in about 27 years.
All the way back since the early 90s. Callanan gets hit with his second personal.
It's been a game effort from OPI, but I think somebody needs to tell them they can stop fouling now. I nominate Nick Elam.
I was going to say, you just did, though. We're right here courtside. They could probably hear you.
I'll walk over and mention it.
I'll hit your cough button so nobody hears you take off the headset. How's that?
Well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well go get us some cheese sticks. I'm going to leave. You giving me a free pass?
With 15 seconds left, sure. Bellinger with one more answer. And the Untouchables, call it an exclamation point for Green. And I think wanted to go up and dunk that, and then the body said otherwise.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Shall the one seed will in fact move on this afternoon? FCM Untouchables with the Sunday date with the Wesley Paul champions. What ends up being a dominant win after they survived those first few minutes. Able to open up a lead, dominant in the second half at least. But they'll certainly have their hands full tomorrow with Earl Boykins and Rashad Bell and everything that the champions bring to the table. Boykins, in the 3 games we've seen him, has been a one-man wrecking crew, both as a scorer and as a distributor, much like he was at Eastern Michigan. And then in 13 years in the NBA.
It'll be our opener tomorrow.
And so the Untouchables and the Paul champions all set to go. What's an 11 o'clock matchup tomorrow morning? And still to come in the South region. Yet another game. It'll be the third one of the day down there in Charlotte. And of course, our third game coming as well. The 116 matchup, the defending champion, Overseas Elite, and the Chattanooga Trenches. We'll have DC on point and Team FOE coming up. For my broadcast partner, Joe Lenardi, our producer, David Lewis, and our entire fine crew, Matt Martucci, saying so long. Momentarily, you've been watching TBT here on ESPN. We'll be right back.
Canelo.